All right, everybody, welcome to the call. This is Social Media Mastery with Scott Pierce at Listings to Leads. And so we're going to be covering a lot of things today. We're going to cover recommended paid ads in general, social media posts. We'll talk about reels. We'll talk about short form videos. We're going to talk about stories. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. So with that, I notice when you first log in, you're going to see suggested ads. And so these are going to be dependent on what you've got in your account, what's working best throughout the system, and so on. And typically we'll try to do 2 buyer ads, 2 seller ads. So here you can see, for example, in my case, I've got a open house coming up. And so that is being suggested. I've got a sold listing. And so the solds are great. If you got a pending or sold listing where either you're the listing or the selling agent, please get that into your Listings to Leads account and do the entire marketing plan for that. And I'll show you how that works here in a minute. So that's for a sold listing. Last week, seller leads from a just sold and a pending listing, and by pending, active, contingent, in contract, and all that, in the $8 range. So seller leads, and I tell you, these are usually the better quality seller leads than other types of seller leads that you're going to get from like the what's your home worth and different things like that. So yeah, pending or sold. If you're unsure about how to do it, get into the mastermind group, please. We'll help you out with it. But yeah, pending and sold, either as listing or selling agent, is one of the best. Down payment assistance. So these leads, man, I think these leads were coming in last week at about $5 a lead. Real quickly, just since we're talking about price per lead, active listings were in the $2 range. Between open house is a little bit more, maybe like $3, $3 to $4 a lead. It's a little bit more. I'm not sure why. It always is. Open house leads are a little bit more expensive, but because it's an open house, because it's an activity, they are usually better quality leads than a regular like active or coming soon. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, go into the questions or you can ask me there. And then lastly, the fourth ad, and that'll rotate between different seller landing pages. And so this week it's investors, pennies on the dollar. This is an interesting one. If you've got an area that has a lot of homes that are the kind of homes that investors go after, so pre-2000, pre-1995 construction, that could be a good one to run as well. Especially if you can do a custom audience of homeowners where you filter that audience to homeowners that of homes built in 1995 or 2000 and earlier. So for example, you could go to My Plus Leads, you could go to maybe Remine RPR, pull a list of all the homeowners in homes in your area built prior to 1995. That can be a custom audience that can be uploaded into Listings to Leads. In fact, let me show you. We'll come back here in a minute. But if I click on ads and there's a blue button, create audience. And so I can buy an audience. I can buy a list of all the homeowners in, say, for example, Folsom, California. And so if I go to a program like My Plus Leads, there we go. And there's a lot of other programs similar to this that you may, like I said, RedX, Vulcan 7, and so on. And so if you go here, you can see neighborhood data, likely to list, and there's a lot of other good ones, right? For rent by owner, pre-foreclosure. So we got the avoid foreclosure funnels and landing pages and all the marketing tools. We've got all the FSBO, we've got all the expired. But here for neighborhood data, you can come in here. And again, this is RedX, Vulcan 7, Remine, RPR, I think has this capability. And get a list, like I said, of all those homeowners. And there's quite a few lists you could do. One would be just regular homeowners. One might be this list right here. You might call that list like your investor home list, for example, because these are all the homes that investors might be going after. And that can be an audience in Facebook. So we can run ads to those people specifically instead of the entire area. And again, we can do that with expireds. We do that with FSBOs. And so I can get that list from one of those programs. Then I can upload it right into Listings to Leads. We will send that to Facebook. We'll match up all those people in the file to the people and their profiles on Facebook and Instagram. And then you can start running ads to them. So let's take a look at what I mean by that. If I go back to the dashboard, oh, wow, good to see everybody. So many more people logging on. I always feel like I should really start these at 9:05, but that's totally fine. So for any of these ads here, in my suggested ads area, and I'm going to do the sold. So if I click create ad, it's going to drop me off right in the work area and let that load. And so you can see the ad right here on the right-hand side. And so the intent of a just sold or a pending ad is going to be to offer people a free home value based on the fact that this property just sold or this property just went into contract and nearby home values are changing. So every time a home is sold, obviously that affects nearby home values. And so we're using that as a call to action to generate seller leads. So you can see here, the default text, 694 Douglas has sold. Your home's value has been affected. Click below to get your new updated home value estimate. People, when they click this ad, the Facebook lead form will come up and it's going to ask them, what is their time frame to sell? So they'll select from a dropdown. And then from there, it'll pre-fill their name, email, and phone number. And then they click submit. They go to the single property website. The main lead form on the just sold and the pending single property websites are for your home value. So it's all set up perfectly. You don't need to worry about that stuff. All you need to do is I would uncheck Folsom if you're going to use a custom audience. If not, then leave your location. And then if you scroll down, you're going to see retarget current leads. And so here, I can select the audience that I got from My Plus Leads, that I got from RedX, that I got from Vulcan 7. You might want to also upload your database as a custom audience. So if you don't have your database as a custom audience, you really should do that. Depending on how many people you've got, you could do a seller audience, a buyer audience, and then an all. Or if you've got a small database, just do it all together and that'll be fine. And then down the road, we can break it out. And so now when I click, so now when I click create ad, I'm going to be spending $50 for 1 week. And instead of everybody in Folsom and 15-mile radius seeing that ad, only those people in the custom audience are going to see it. So now the only thing I say about custom audiences is they're only as good as the data. So if you get a custom audience and it's just not a great, and who knows, right? It's hard to know if the audience is going to be a great one or not. And sometimes audiences can take a while to build up. So you can run ads to a custom audience, whatever, they do okay, but then they kick in a little bit later. And I always tell people, if you use a custom audience, you can still sometimes use the audience and sometimes run an ad to the general location and just see what works better for you. Because that's the thing in marketing is 5 people can do the exact same thing and get 5 wildly different results. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of things. But the good thing is we know the trends. We know in general what works best. And so that's what we want to train on. And then obviously, as we go through the ad for what we're doing, we've got a social media post that we're going to want to make sure we get out. So for the social media post, you're not going to generate a ton of leads, but the people that are connected to that account, so whether it's your Facebook group, a Facebook business page, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google Business, they will see that more than likely. So the post, not a massive lead generator, but it's still great to get out there. We got the post for the seller. So we want to make sure that this gets on the seller's page as well. If you're not a listing agent, then you won't have this tool. And let me mention one more thing here. In the ads, and for all of these, if you've got a Canva image or whatever that you want to use, in addition, we got 21 different templates. I will say this template right here is one of the best. This template right here, the reason why this template is so good, this image template for the ad, it shows the status. So just sold in Folsom. We let them know, right, why we're showing it. We got the call to action, click to get your free home value estimate now. We got a couple of great thumbnails of the property. And then right here, it says 3 more pictures. So however many pictures you've got for that listing, it'll show how many more are available to see. That gets so many clicks. You can click here where it says change template. If you click that, you're going to see we've got 21 different templates down here. You can edit the template by clicking, and then I can change images. And in fact, I just got into the mastermind group last week. I posted I was showing off different ads, and I'll find it and I'll bump it up in the mastermind group a little later today. And I was comparing good performing ads versus bad performing ads. And I showed a bad performing ad where this image was essentially the top of a staircase. Right. So it was just a super weird image, right? Like, why would you show the top of a staircase as the main image? And it wasn't even a good image of the staircase. It was like a weird angle. And so I was showing if that happens, and typically that would happen because you had that image as the very first image in your account. You can come in here and select a different image, a good one, and use that instead. So always make sure that the ad image looks good. So if you see you're getting ready to post the ad and just looking at your image, you go, why am I showing an empty bedroom as the main image? That's not good. Or why am I showing the image and it looks like most of the image is a garage door and the street? That's just not a great image. So just pay attention to your images. And if you've got a Canva, or even if you want to use a video or other custom image, click right here, change image video. And you can just upload whatever image you want right here. So click upload. And again, that could be another custom image. That could be even a video. If you want to do a video, hey, this is 694 Douglas Boulevard, or Douglas Boulevard just sold. We got our 100-point home marketing plan, got 45,000 views for this property and 15 showings and 3 offers, 15,000 above the Zillow's estimate. Talk a little bit about the seller and how you help them get the property sold and move on with their life. You can upload a video like that. So a lot of really advanced and cool things you can do here. But for 99% of you, if you just make sure that the image looks good and click create ad, you're going to be great. And then the last 2 more things here, short form video script. So take our script. How you want to use this is if you click the green send button, send yourself the script, open that up on your phone, and then get that into a teleprompter app, record the video, and get it up on Instagram. I would do TikTok. If you don't know how to do that, click the blue button right here, how to use a teleprompter app. And this video, I walk you through how to open up the email, take that script, put it into an app, and start recording it. With Listings to Leads, you have got 5 to 10 short form video scripts a week to use. You're never going to run out of video ideas. And with our scripts, you can either use them word for word, which would be a little bit hard, I think, paraphrase, or just use them as inspiration. So it doesn't really matter, but the goal is you've got to be doing videos on a very regular basis. If you're not doing at least 2 to 3 a week, you're falling behind. And so again, we're giving you 1 to 2 a day. So I don't expect you to do 1 or 2 a day, but if any of you are trying to increase your visibility within your audiences via social media, getting into these scripts is going to be one of the best things you can do. So I'm going to close this out, come back to the dashboard. So again, all these ads work the same way. Now I'm going to go to the marketing calendar, because aside from suggested ads, we have the calendar. And the calendar is set up where every one of these little dates here, when you click on the title, it's going to pop up right here. And you're going to see for every day, there's a different funnel. And once you get where you're pretty expert, you can do one of these funnels every single day, because it doesn't really take that much. But in the beginning, try to do 1 or 2 a week. If you can do 1 or 2 a week, you're going to be really good. And one of the primary ones I always recommend is marketing a listing. If you click the checklist, yours, borrowed, or new construction. And the reason for that is marketing listings brings in the most leads. All right. You're going to bring in buyer leads, typically between $2 to $4 a lead. And some of those buyer leads are also going to have a home to sell. I hear it all the time. I was marketing an open house. I was marketing it coming soon. And I generated a couple of buyer leads. I'm already working with them. Especially, I'm telling you, I'm getting so much more great feedback on the AI text follow-up, which I'll mention. But I've talked to 3 or 4 clients last week. All of them were just like loving the AI text follow-up. 2 of them told me, actually, yeah, it was 2 of them. 2 different clients. They were both in meetings. I think one was a listing appointment, one was a showing. They saw the lead come in, and by the time they got done with what they were doing, the AI text had already engaged, had already set up a time and a day for the call. Both of them talked to the buyer lead and were like, great conversations, going to be working with them. So I'll show you that AI text follow-up here in a little bit. But every one of these days in the marketing calendar has this checklist. And so for social media here, Facebook ad, the post, we've gone through that, the short form video we talked about, the social media post for the seller. I pointed that out to you, but I'll show you that here in a little bit more detail. Back in the marketing calendar, again, here's a guide right above the checklist. The guide is a great walkthrough. So when you go to the guide, so here, this is a summary for all the different statuses. And you can just select the status you're marketing. I'll do open house. And now I've got the detailed open house marketing walkthrough. And if you are not conducting your open houses to the point where you're getting 1 or 2 good buyer leads to work with and 1 or 2 great seller leads, you're not using our playbook, right? If you're using our playbook, our open house marketing and mastery, you're going to be getting 1 or 2 good buyer leads a week and 1 or 2 good seller leads from that open house. So as I scroll down this, it'll walk you through the open house sign-in sheet, a recent update, a little bit about open house mastery. The open house mastery is for how to conduct the actual open house itself. How to prepare for the open house, what are you going to do with the open house, what to do post open house. And below that is our pre-open house marketing. So this is all the stuff that you're going to do before the open house. So the ads, right? Make sure your follow-up is dialed in. The social media posts, like I mentioned. The one thing that you're not going to see on the checklist that I discuss in the guide, and I do this in every single guide, is using Instagram and Facebook stories, or Instagram stories with Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. And so if you click here, in fact, I will put this into, I like it better than carousel. Yeah. It's interesting. I'm going to talk on carousel in a minute. There's a place for carousel, but it's not in ads. I look at all these ads and I listen to people talking, and and we test against different formats. Our default ads always perform better. In fact, I just did a test this weekend. We did dynamic ads, and then we did our standard ad. Our standard ad did way better, $5 a lead versus the dynamic ad for the exact same thing, but just 5 versions of it, $20 a lead to the same audience, same budget, everything being the same. One was our default ad, one was a dynamic ad. And our default ad, without changing a thing, performed 4 times better. In carousel, I see the same kind of thing with carousel ads, right? They're coming in, you know why? Because people, if it was a story, then that's one thing. But as a paid ad, when you just want people to click, all I want people to do is look at what I'm showing them and be engaged enough and motivated enough to click and go to the next step. I don't want them sliding through. I don't want them watching a video. I want them to look, click, and respond. Like I said, we're always testing against other ads and going through all this text change and these custom images. No, ours are always performing better. So anyways, did I put that link? Yes, I did. So I'm going to show you a couple of things here. Let's go to Instagram. Oh, wait, that's the how-to video. Examples. Here we go. I want to just walk through a few things here. So this is the image, and in the how-to video, I walk you through how to do this, but this is the image from Listings to Leads. So I'm using the image, and notice I got a poll right there. What secret do you think this house is hiding? I will come to the open house and find out. Tell me in the DMs. Next one, another open house story. So these are Instagram stories, and we can do very similar to TikTok with Reels, view photos, details, and more. This is an actual link right in my story. So I show you how you can use Instagram stories to get people into your lead capture, right? To get people to a landing page, get people to our single property websites, and how to add polls. So notice the poll says, looking to buy a home in the next 12 months. Yes, send me the home buying guide. So that's the Listings to Leads ultimate how to buy a home guide. Or no, I need to sell my home. Let's go to, there's some really good ones. Let me go to the next example. And so here you can see another link to the single property website, another poll. Here for a coming soon listing. And notice I've got a link to a free guide, 6 things to check before buying a home. So I show you how to use the different landing pages, different guides as appropriate for that listing or that story to better engage people. So if I click here, right from my Instagram story, right from my phone, right to the landing page. And then down here is another poll. What's the first thing you notice about this home? And so take a look at my Instagram, get some great ideas, and just implement. All right. These are absolutely free, great ways to get more visibility. And again, if you want to use a strategy with a custom Canva image, oh, hey, did you guys see this yet? I'm going to be showing this a little bit later. This is in your our media library with Listings to Leads. I'm going to walk you through how to use it in a little bit. But I want you guys to look at that stuff right here. And again, use some of these examples for inspiration for what you're doing. So many, and this is all free, all right? There's no cost to this. Use a short form video script for your Instagram reel. And then I would use those images for my Instagram stories. And they're going to see all those examples again, right here in the marketing calendar. So we talked about the checklist, right? Again, every date on this has a checklist. Every date has a guide. And then I'll just go to my listing. And again, whether it's a sold listing, a landing page, a PDF guide, they all work very similar. So again, here's my ad. And now, we've been talking about custom audiences. We do not do custom audiences for buyers. So anything somebody asks about new construction or any kind of buyer ad, you do not use a custom audience. Just run it to the general location. So you'll see location is already pre-filled, lifetime budget of $35, 1 week. Again, I can change the template. We got 21 different templates. I can edit the template itself. Notice I do deal of the week. And so again, if I want to edit the text that's in there, just click here. And then every single image and the banner has a edit. And so I can edit the headline, edit the subheadline, edit the coloring, and or click change image and video and just use a completely different image or video altogether. But literally, for 98% of you, if you just confirm location, confirm your budget, if anything, I would spend a little bit more on the budget. 35 is just a minimum. You are more than welcome to spend $50, to spend $75. We've got clients that are spending $200 to $300 a week on their ads. So again, 35 is just a complete minimum. And again, just like we walked through before, the social media posts will be right below that. And you see there, I've got carousel selected just to show you as an example. But see, here's the thing. The more I click here, there's only so many clicks you're going to get out of me. And so the more I'm clicking around, I just go, I don't like the kitchen. I don't like that. I don't the bedroom, whatever. I'm off. Versus they look at a 1-image ad like this one, just so we can psychologically look at this all together. Here, because I did the ad already. So it wants to show me I did the ad. So versus here, I got a quick look, right? Oh, the house looks nice. Okay, great. Boom. Oh, there's more pictures I can see. So instead of having me scroll through your carousel, there's 23 more pictures. There's 15 more pictures, whatever it is. Now I'm much more likely to click through, become a lead. And hey, I still may not like the house, but at least you can follow up with me. When I'm doing the carousel and I'm just flipping around and you get those 5 clicks out of me, you got 5 clicks out of me, but you didn't get my information, did you? All you got was me just thumbing through your carousel. So that's and you can see here, show carousel for listing photos. If I turn that off, we just go right back to single image. But again, if your post, you're not worried about lead generation or whatever, then do whatever you want to do. We just give you the options. In fact, someone came into the mastermind group and she's like, why do you even do that? Why do you even have that? I'm like, we got clients. They don't care about lead generation at all. They literally don't. All they want to do is just market their listings. They are complete database and sphere of influence agents, and generating leads from their listings is pretty much the last thing on their mind. Believe it or not, that is completely how some people are. And so there are different things that different people can do. And if you just follow our most basic training, you're going to be so much better off than trying to customize everything. Let's go back to the marketing calendar. And I do want to get to the media library because I'm super excited to show you that. But let me just show you one more thing here. For the guides, I do not recommend running paid ads on the guides unless you're going to do to a custom audience. So we got the checklist, we got the walkthrough, we got the marketing tool. So I'll click on market. So you can recognize, right, the very similar structure. We got the ad. These leads are going to come in about $20, $15 to $20 a lead. And that's for buyer and seller. Now these are definitely more mid-funnel. For these, what I recommend is for sure the database stuff. You want to use it to your database. This is really the biggest bang for the buck on the guides, is sending it out to your database. Also, the short form video script. right? You doing a video. This would be such a good thing. In fact, one of the things you should do maybe is print the guide, put it in a binder like you saw me do with the listing presentations, right? If you've ever seen our listing presentation training, I print up the 26-page 100-point home marketing plan. I've got a folder for it. Maybe do the same for the guide. I can download the guide right here, Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast. In fact, we should just do that. English or Spanish, I'll download English. But maybe print this up and put it in a binder. And then when you record your video offering this guide to your audience, you can actually show it to them. In fact, maybe I'll try to do that myself. So here's the guide. And so what I'm going to recommend you do is print the guide and again, put it in a binder. So FedEx, Kinko's, Staples, whatever it is, maybe you got some at the office. And then that way, when you're doing a video, imagine you're doing a short form video, you can hold that guide up, right? And here's a script right here on the right-hand side. And again, whether you use it word for word, whether you paraphrase it, whether you just use it as inspiration and do your own thing, I don't really care, because you got to be you. You can't be me. You're going to do you. So do you, but do you consistently. Pay attention to what you're doing and try to get a little bit better every single time. Everybody get it here with the PDF guides. If you are into doing Google, these are actually pretty good on Google. All right. I would highly recommend Google if you've got the budget for it. If you do not have the budget to spend between 20 to 50 bucks a day, then do not do Google. I don't want you going broke, right? There's so many other ways that you can do this. You can use the image. And in the video here, let me show you in the training for those Instagram stories that we were looking at a little bit earlier. If I go to change image and video, right? I got a lot of different options. Look at all the different image options here. And then again, you can always upload your own as well. And let's go back to the marketing calendar. For on Thursdays, these are all different seller landing pages. You got custom landing page. You can do whatever you want, but we just take the top 4 system landing pages. So for example, iBuyer, home value. So if I click on home value, right, again, the checklist, the guide, the marketing tools. And because this is for homeowners, this is for a seller leads, we're going to run this to what? We're going to run this to a custom audience. And you're going to see retarget current leads is checked. I'm going to type in my audience. And then all I got to just, again, confirm the budget, confirm the start and end date. I can change the template. Again, I can do a video. I can do a custom image from Canva, wherever, right? Make that perfect. And you can also always change the text. So I didn't mention that earlier with the pending and the sold and the for sales, but the text can always be changed. But again, I'm going to tell you, we've done so much testing, and the default text will always, not always, nothing is for sure. Nothing is 100%, but will generally generate leads at a better cost per lead. I love people testing things. So if you want to come in here and test out different text ideas, do it, see how it works. It was so funny. Somebody came into the mastermind group a couple of weeks ago, and she said, she was complaining about her leads. And so I went in, I was looking at them, and I gave some suggestions. And I said, well, you know what? If you actually just do it per our basic training, you'll do a lot better. Because she was changing different things. And then she comes back and she says, I did do your training. I just wanted to change up a few things. I'm like, you're changing up a few things is what caused you to generate leads at a higher cost per lead. So just take that as that didn't work moment and go back to what was working. Because she had been generating leads at a great cost per lead when she was doing the more basic stuff. But what happens is sometimes people in the beginning, they do it the way we say, this is great, this is great. And they must get an idea from somebody else, and they go in and they do this other thing that they heard from someone else. And then they start doubling the cost per lead. And then they start complaining. And I'm like, if you just do it the way we talk, the way we teach, you're going to be so much better off. How much does this, what type of ad? I'm sure I don't get the question. How does this type of ad do with leads? I don't even know what that means. How does this type of ad, is there still a minimum number? Jan, 500, I've heard so many numbers. The official number is 1,000 or more, but I've heard people doing as low as 300 to 400. I can't really give you more than that. Okay. Again, it's not about quantity or quality, it's not about the number of leads necessarily, but about the quality or, the source. So again, if you go to My Plus Leads, or RedX or Vulcan 7, RPR, and if you run and get a list of all the homeowners in your area, you're probably going to be looking at 15 to 20,000. Now, a lot of these programs, every month you get an extra 1,000 leads. So I think it's totally viable to start off with whatever number you get to start off with. You can always supplement that with your database, right? Put that in the same file. So at least you get enough people between people that know you in the database and people that are homeowners in the area to start building out a custom audience. Does that make sense? And again, get into the mastermind group for more specifics and more kind of a detailed conversation if you want to. So we were looking at this ad here, and I was just talking about the idea of retargeting. Now, if you don't have a custom audience, you can still run this ad to your general location. This ad actually works fine running to a general location. So if you don't have a custom audience and you want to do the free home values, I think you're totally fine. Again, Google, this is a great ad to run on Google if you got the budget for it. I always tell people, master everything else first. Or if you got the money, just go for it. But again, I don't want people going broke on Google. We got the social media post. All right. So again, get all of that out there. And so again, you should be able to do all 5 of these every single week. And again, paid ads. I would do a paid ad on the listing. I would do a paid ad on a sold or pending if you've got one. I would use the guide to my database. And if you want to use it in the GeoFarm, we'll talk about that on Wednesday. And again, I would do the short form video script. I would do the post. I would use the images for my Instagram stories. So you got a lot of social media stuff here, but I would not necessarily do a paid ad for the guide. Same idea here, right? A lot of great ways to leverage that on social media. If you don't have a sold or pending, then I would do that ad as well, the paid ad. And then on Friday, this is a little bit different. We got expireds. There's a checklist, a guide, and the marketing tools. And so if I go to the guide, this is a great write-up, right? Oh my God. If you're not using our expired tools, who here goes after expireds? Anybody? If you go after expireds, I would love to talk with you, because when I show people our expired landing pages, our expired PDF guide, our expired 100-point home marketing plan, PDF book, and landing pages, they go nuts. This is such a great, right? We have postcards. We got emails that you can send to expireds. Oh, Gordon, dude, you blew me off all weekend, man. So I don't even know if I want to talk to you anymore. God. But yeah, no, Gordon, you and I need to connect with you a little bit later. But we need to go to the media library. And in the media library, videos, all of these videos, especially the top 3 rows, are for you to download. So if I go, this is a great one. So this is a great one for Instagram. How many of you have gotten this up on your social media yet? This is a great one. So what we do is we are putting videos like this into the media library for you to use. These are not meant to be all of your social media. All right. These are meant to be supplemental on your social media. So I want to see your short form videos using the scripts that we've got. I want you to be doing all these other great things that you're doing because it's got to be you, right? We need to see your beautiful face. I want to hear your beautiful voice. I want to see your beautiful energy. But these videos in listings to leads here, and they cover a range of topics. Some are going to be current events and news related, like that last one we saw. Some are going to be more pop culture, like this one right here. Some are going to be buyer seller profile videos, like Splash. So this is a great one here. And so the point of these videos is, in fact, let me show you here. Oh yeah, this is another great one. In fact, let me go back to this one here. So let me show you. If you're on your phone, you just download it to your phone and post it. If you're on your laptop, right, download it. So here's the video file itself. Let me bring that back up. So here's the video file itself. And like, again, if I'm on my computer, I'm just going to go file, share. I'll airdrop it. And I'll airdrop it to my phone. And there we go. Now I can post that up to my Instagram. I can post it to TikTok. When I post it to Instagram, post it as an Instagram reel. And when you do that, you'll normally be prompted, do you want to share this to Facebook? Do yes. And if it prompts you to do a story, then do the story as well. And here is, give me a second here. And here's the thing. As people watch 3 seconds or more of the video, they can be added to a custom audience. And so imagine, right? So for example, this is a great one. This would be a great Facebook post, right? So if you got a Facebook group or a Facebook page, this would be a great video for that. And the cool thing is, as people, again, as I said, as people watch 3 seconds of this video or longer on your Facebook page, they can be added to a custom group, right? A custom audience. And then that way, this is a buyer, obviously this is a buyer video. So I would say, hey, anyone that watches 3 seconds or more of this video, add them to my buyer custom audience. So that way later when I'm running ads, so to the question for the person running about new construction, if you were doing videos about new construction, you could say, I want anyone that watched these videos about new construction, 3 seconds or longer, to be added to my new construction buyers group. Make sense? So there's a lot of really cool things with video. And so what I want you all to be doing, in fact, let's look at this. I don't think I've ever seen this video. Let's see. What you need to be doing now is start using some of these videos. Now do the nonstop cars make it hard. Oh, this is a good one. Right. So people that live in the city that want to move to the suburbs and relax, right? Get more green. And so start using these videos, because if you start using these videos, and the cool thing is I can create, and I got to get the training in on how to do this because it's so easy. But when you go into your Facebook ads manager and create this custom audience, which is super easy to do, any past video that you've ever done can be a part of this, right? So the first thing is you've got to start doing, if you haven't been really doing much video, shame on you. But even if you are, take a look at these, because again, these are going to be able to be put into custom audiences or their viewers. Here's another type of video. So these are like current event videos, right? Those beautiful videos, right? And again, they're meant to be supplemental to your current content that you are doing. And so again, that was Media Library. And we're going to actually change it so that it actually opens up to videos. Right now it's opening up to images. So just select videos, take a look at them. And again, I would just pick one a day, right? Just pick one. download it, upload it, right? A day or two later, grab another one. We're going to be adding again more videos. So we're going to be trying to add 2 to 3 a week at a minimum for you to take and start using. Any questions on that? Yeah, Isabel, I'm going to be coming in tomorrow and I'll show you how to do that. Right now, don't worry about it because it's not like it only counts after you set up the custom audience. That would be bad. If I were to put a video up today and 5 people watched it, and then tomorrow I go to do the custom audience setup, I will be able to add all those people previously viewing my videos. So hopefully that makes sense. What is the recommended frequency to grab organic? Really once a day, right? Really once a day. And I would use, so we talked about the short form video scripts. So that's you, your face, your voice, your vibe. So again, every day in the marketing calendar's got a short form video script, right? At least most of them do. Then we've got these videos. So these are great supplemental. And then if we go back to the dashboard, the last part of, let's go to the social content. The last part of social media mastery is on the social content page. And if I come down here, notice I've got all these entries on the calendar that are in gold: National Tortilla Chip Day, National Chocolate Covered Nut Day, National Letter to an Elder Day, Retro Day, Carnival, Employee Appreciation Day. In the marketing calendar, right? So the marketing calendar above, all of those video scripts were related to real estate. So whether it's a PDF guide, a listing that's in contract or sold, the Thursday seller scripts that go along with those seller landing pages. So on the marketing calendar, all of those scripts are for real estate related stuff. In social content, these are for helping you become the local expert. So these are I'm the mayor of area X. And so the idea is, and I'm telling you, today is a great one. I would try to knock this out today. So when I click on it, there's a script. It says view script right there on the bottom. And again, whether you word for word it, paraphrase it, or use it as inspiration, I want you to go to, in this case, a Mexican restaurant, all right, or any kind of Latin restaurant where they have tortilla chips. Order of the guacamole and salsa with the chips, and then record this video and show off the order, show off that amazing, beautiful food, tag the location, ask everybody what their favorite place is for chips, guacamole and chips, and start engaging your local audience. When we do this and we tag the location, I would even, hashtags don't matter on Instagram. On TikTok, they work. So when I upload the video to TikTok, I'm going to use my hashtags. On Instagram, you don't do it. If you're going to do it on X, don't use hashtags. In the video, don't overcomplicate it. It could literally be a 7-second video where you just sit there at the restaurant and go, if you didn't know, today's National Tortilla Chip Day, and if you haven't been over to Jalisco's Grill, they have got the best tortilla chips and their guacamole is amazing, right? And you're just filming the food, right? You upload it, add location, Jalisco's Grill, guacamole is amazing. You get it? And you can do that. Look at this. We give you, find a candy store, right? If you got a local, we've got a place in Folsom called Snooks. It's freaking amazing, right? It's locally owned for 40 years. That would be amazing to go there, record that script. National Letter to an Elder Day. We covered that last week in some detail. We're all talking about, go find a senior citizen's home, see if they even know that it's National Letter to an Elder Day. And if they do, say, hey, I'd like to just do a video and collect some letters from the community and deliver them to you all on the 26th. Would that be something? And if so, how many people in your home, how many letters should we be thinking about? And can you imagine you go up onto your social media and let everybody know that Wednesday, the 26th is this? and you solicit, and I would go into my neighborhood next door group. I would go into my neighborhood Facebook group where I'm not even an admin. And I would just say, hey, and I'm not doing it as a real estate agent. I'm just doing it as a person. People want to do business with people they like, know, and trust. And this could be a winner. This could be an absolute winner. And again, get into the mastermind group, ask questions, right? Get in there and just say, hey, really, what do you mean by a National Retro Day, right? Where would you go for this one? I would go to either one of those really weird, no, you know where I would go? There's places in Sacramento that there's some good, we got the Trading Post. We've got, there's a couple Crossroads, all right? Crossroads, Trading Post. And there's a couple of other places that are a little bit higher end, more like costume, retro type places. So many places I could do this script at in my local community. And I'm tagging those businesses on every one of these videos. Brazilian Carnival. That's going to be a beautiful one. Is there a Brazilian restaurant? Is there a Brazilian club near you? Is anybody having a Brazilian Carnival party that you could promote? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Sean, when you say I love it, Sean says, I love it. I have to serve it and I get them out and get most paid organic. Love all your stuff. Yeah, Sean, I love it. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I'd love for you to get in the mastermind group and just discuss that a little bit. Would love to hear what you're doing. Because I always love giving feedback. And I find when people share with me what they're doing, oftentimes I'm able to give them a little bit of feedback and help them fine tune it just a little bit. Not always. I'm not the smartest person in the room by any means. But do you all get the social content idea? An employee appreciation day. Now, if you're a single agent only, you don't have any employees, you can just do for something in general. And again, I click it down here, view script. And I use the word again way too many times. But whether you use it word for word, you paraphrase it, or just use it as inspiration. But try and get disciplined. Try to get consistent. Your business, whether it's the ads, the posts, the videos, the stories, the reels, whatever it is, if you're not going to be consistent, you're playing a losing game right from the gate, right out of the gate. No matter how perfect that reel is, if you're not going to be consistent, you're not going anywhere. If your ads, if you're not running ads consistently, you're going to be stuck suboptimal cost per lead at a suboptimal audience, because Facebook is not going to know. They're not going to be able to be consistent with the type of people you're trying to attract because you're just in and out all the time. It's like at the gym. When I go to the gym one or 2 days a week, do I go anywhere? Am I getting any benefit from that? Minimally, but not really. So I think we're good to go. Any other questions for me? Somebody raised their hand. Gord, that was from earlier. Any other questions, comments, feedback, thoughts? Hey, Gordon, well, I'll ping you a little bit later. Yeah, I got a few things I'm doing this morning, but Dennis, you made it. Dennis, awesome. Larry, I hope everything was good. Sandra, always love seeing you here. Tony, I will hang out for a few more seconds. And all right, everybody, listen, thank you so much for joining us. I will talk to you later. Have a great week and we'll see you tomorrow.